All right, y'all. We have come to Jeremiah 52, which is the end of Jeremiah. This has been fun. I have enjoyed this. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this too. I do want to get into more of the prophets. So I don't know if I'll do like Isaiah next, but yeah, let's get into it. Jeremiah 52, the fall of Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah. She was from Libnah. Zedekiah did what was evil in the Lord's sight, just as Jehoiakim had done. Because of the Lord's anger, it came to the point in Jerusalem and Judah that he finally banished them from his presence. Then Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. In the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon advanced against Jerusalem with his entire army. They laid siege to the city and built a siege wall against it all around. The city was under siege until King Zedekiah's 11th year. So that's 2 years they were under siege. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that the common people had no food. Then the city was broken into and all the warriors fled. They left the city at night by the way of the city gate between the two walls near the king's garden, though the Chaldeans surrounded the city. They made their way along the route to Arabah. The Chaldean army pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho. Zedekiah's entire army left him the betrayal and scattered. The Chaldeans seized the king and brought him to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, and he passed sentence on him. At Riblah, the king of Babylon slaughtered Zedekiah's sons before his eyes, and he also slaughtered the Judean commanders. Then he blinded Zedekiah and bound him with bronze chains. The king of Babylon brought Zedekiah to Babylon, where he kept him in custody or in a house of guards until his dying day. On the 10th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guards, entered Jerusalem as the representative of, or he stood before, the king of Babylon. He burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, all the houses of Jerusalem. He burned down all the great houses. The whole Chaldean army, with the captain of the guards, tore down all the walls surrounding Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guards, deported some of the poorest of the people, as well as the rest of the people who remained in the city. The deserters who had defected to the king of Babylon and the rest of the craftsmen. But Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guards, left some of the poorest of the land to the vine dressers and farmers. Now the Chaldeans broke into pieces the bronze pillars for the Lord's temple, and the water carts and the bronze basin, or sea, that were in the Lord's temple, and they carried all the bronze to Babylon. They also took the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling basins, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. This is outrageously diabolical that they did this, and that is why God passed judgment on Babylon. The captain of the guards took away the bowls, fire pans, sprinkling basins, pots, lampstands, pans, and drink offering bowls, whatever was gold or silver. So you can read Exodus 35 and onward for references and seeing why this was so important and why this was so tremendously wrong and horrible for them to do. As for the two pillars, the one basin with the 12 bronze oxen under it and the water carts, or oxen under the water carts, that King Solomon had made for the Lord's temple, the weight of the bronze of all these articles was beyond measure. One pillar was 27 feet, or 18 cubits tall, had a circumference of 18 feet, or 12 cubits, was hollow, 4 fingers thick, and has a bronze capital on top of it. One capital, encircled by bronze grating and pomegranates, stood 7.5 feet high, or 5 cubits. The second pillar was the same with the pomegranates. Each capital had 96 pomegranates all around it. All the pomegranates around the grating numbered 100. The captain of the guards also took away Sariah the chief priest, Zephaniah the priest of the second rank, and the 3 doorkeepers. From the city he took a court official, or a eunuch, and eunuchs, many chapters back, a eunuch is someone like Paul. They're like monks, right? They don't get married. They don't have physical relations. They don't do any of that. Their sole purpose is to worship and to be like a religious leader who had been appointed over the warriors. 7 entrusted royal aides, or 7 men who look on the king's face, so the closest ones to him, found in the city, the secretary of the commander of the army who enlisted the people of the land for military duty, and 60 men from the common people, or people of the land, who are found within a city. Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guards, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. The king of Babylon put them to unaliving at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah went into exile from its land. These are the people Nebuchadnezzar deported. In the 7th year, 3,023 Jews. In his 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In Nebuchadnezzar's 23rd year, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guards, deported 745 Jews. Altogether, 4,600 people were deported. Jehoiakim pardon. On the 25th day of the 12th month of the 37th year of the exile of Judah's king Jehoiakim, King Evil Merodach of Babylon, in the 1st year of his reign, pardoned King Jehoiakim of Judah and released him from prison. He spoke kindly to him and set his throne above the thrones of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiakim changed his prison clothes, and he dined regularly in the presence of the king of Babylon for the rest of his life. As for his allowance, a regular allowance was given to him by the king of Babylon, a portion for each day until the day of his death for the rest of his life. Traitor. And that is Jeremiah.